to thank you all for making it for another meeting of the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association. I'm Dan Ringwald, your president, and you are here. That's Parker, okay, upstairs, third floor, and you're probably in one of these windows right there, I think, okay? So anytime you want to grab your wine, your food, walk outside, do a little networking, talk to some people. We've got an escape door there, or out the door that way and around. How you all doing?
Great, thank you.
Great. Fantastic. Good. Thank you so much for making it. All right. We've got the main website here, long version, the short version, and everything we're doing, we're putting up on YouTube. You know, I can't tell you how many times I go home and I look at, in fact, this meeting, and I was looking at things, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking, more than I normally do. I started looking at some videos and I went, oh my God, I should watch these more often. You know? It's like, I was there and I didn't get it. You know, I have to watch it 3 or 4 times so I can get what's going on. But there's a lot of good information that goes back for a number of years, so just check it out. It's all free anytime you want to get up there. Back and forth. It's there. Meetup.com. Anybody here use Meetup to register? Okay, good. Yeah. Because even if you're not paying, it's a good place to go and put your information out there, RSVP, and people begin to see who you are. They say, oh, Gary Reese, I saw you on Meetup.com, and I know what you're looking for, and I know what you've got to offer. This is what this is good for. It helps your networking. So you really want to use this to increase your networking. Okay? Some of the stuff that we're going to be covering, we're going to do things a little bit differently than we've done in the past. We've got our registration, we're through. We've got the wine and the food going. It looks like there's still some stuff back there, so that's good. And if you are parking downstairs your car, there's a validation machine back there, so you can plug the ticket in, and otherwise you're paying $25 just to park. It's not an inexpensive place, but it sure beats Rusty's Pizza, right? And then we're going to go into introducing vendors that are here today. So that's good to see that's happening. We've also got the information that I'm going to cover. Normally I have another speaker for 30 minutes, and then I have a different speaker for 90 minutes. And so I got to looking at this and talking to people on our calls for training on how to get these properties and how to do this business. And I said, well, do you guys want me to spend a little bit more time here actually discussing how we're doing this? And they said, yeah. So we're going to spend a little bit more time than usual going over the software programs, kind of the plan, what's going on, and how we do all this stuff. Okay. Then we will have Chris Gager here. He is driving on the LA's freeways. Called up and went, Linda, I don't know if I'm going to make it in time. And she said, you'll make it, don't worry. So he's going to be starting off here at 2:30. And then, of course, after that, we're back down to the bar for more food, more wine, drinks, whatever, So that's it. We're going to go ahead and start. I would like to introduce Linda Pliagas from Realty 401 magazine.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And I just want to briefly mention that our new issue just came out, Cash Flow Express. We have the honor of having First Key Lending on the cover, and they are a $1 billion company from New York City, Park Avenue. We also had an expo in New York City in Manhattan, I would say a couple of months ago, and First Key Lending was there. We also had ING Financial as one of our sponsors. We had B2R Lending, which is also a $1 billion company, as one of our sponsors. So we actually had 3 billion companies sponsoring our Manhattan Expo, and I'm so proud of that. And we expect wonderful things for our Santa Barbara Expo that we have lined up next month. Dan and I are teaming up to do our 4th annual Santa Barbara Expo right here in this room, and we're actually going to take over the entire area. We're going to have the vendors in the foyer. As soon as you walk out of the elevator, we're going to have all the exhibitors there. We have 13 companies that are joining us from all over the country. So I would like to please ask you if you could let your friends, associates, family members know about the event. It's absolutely free. We're paying for it because of our generous sponsors, the companies that are participating. And we just want as many people to come and enjoy it and network as possible. And you know, it's challenging sometimes to bring people to this beautiful area because it's so far away from LAX. So we need everyone to please support this event. Bring your friends, let's get the numbers up so we can really provide an awesome day of networking for everybody that attends, including all the wonderful companies that are flying in from out of state to join us. It is July 19th. I have a flyer right on my desk. So it's July 19th, which is a Saturday. We're going to be starting from 9 a.m., going all day. You can come in and out and go get something to eat downstairs. After that, we'll probably be doing some networking as well. So just plan on staying the day, and like I said, please invite your friends and spread the word so we can have a wonderful day.
And Linda, didn't last expo we had here last year was about maybe 80, 90 people we had?
Yeah, I think we have maybe about 90.
90, okay.
Yeah,
And
close
we
to 100.
actually had some people here that were having a hard time getting rid of some properties, and met people here, and were able to actually sell those properties and do some deals through the networking because there was a lot of people here, which really makes a difference in your business. So, you know, the more people, the better.
Yes, absolutely. So please, I encourage everyone to support this event, and we will see you here next month.
And also, I just want to mention, Zach is going to be helping you out. You kind of add in Zach to the team here.
Oh yes, come on up here, Zach. Our goal at Realty 411 is to produce 2 events per month, one in California and one out of state. And of course, I'm going to be needing assistance for that. I can't do everything. And Zach and I are going to be working together. If I'm not available to go to an event out of state, or if we're planning too many events and I just can't seem to, you know, make a personal appearance, Zach is going to be joining us and participating and going on behalf of Realty 411 to help us out when I can't do it.
And Zach, you want to just mention your kind of career goal and where you're going with that?
Yeah, I have a background in marketing, direct response, and basically what I do is try to help companies find, the right people, the right fit, the right clients, and help them engage with the companies and the businesses that will benefit them the most.
So you can see that this is perfect for you and your career and the direction you're going. So I'm glad to see that happening.
Thank you, Dan, and that was your connection, so thank you so much.
Okay. That's what we're here for, right?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Zach's going to be helping me out because when we're here next month, I'm going to be hosting, but we're going to pull Zach in here and let him do a little hosting too, so he can start getting experience with that, so that when he does go out on the road, it's like, oh yeah, I've been there, done that. Do it. So it'll be good. Okay, so we've got Mario Estrada from Central Coast REIA.
All right. Well, thanks, Dan, for inviting me to come down to the meeting. I've been here several times, and I'm really happy to meet Dan and network with everybody here in Santa Barbara. So my name is Mario Estrada Jr. I am the president and co-founder of the Central Coast REIA. We've been a full-fledged networking group since 2010. Started out with a few guys meeting in a bar saying, hey, how do we get started? What are we supposed to do? And after a few months, we had a format, and since January of 2010, we've never missed a meeting, and basically our whole I guess outlook of the group is to teach and to network with other investors, no matter how experienced or inexperienced you are. So people who have come into our group for the first time not knowing what's going on, we welcome them and we help them to be successful, and that's the main goal of our group. And it was also to bring other investors to, you know, whether they partner up or help somebody out on a particular deal, even if they don't make money on the deal with that person, just knowing that you can help that person get through that deal and make some money is really what our goal was. And I'm glad to say that there have been several investors who did team up on some things, and they have made a lot of money, and there's been several $1 million that have flown, that have come through our group, you know, as a result of all the networking that we did. So we're very proud of that. You know, and through this group, I met Linda. That's really opened up a lot of doors. Got to know Keith and Roberta. So it's just, it's great, and I really love the networking that we've been able to do. And also, cash flow. If you guys are looking for some cash flow properties, we have a few for sale, so come see me at the booth over there, and we'll talk about it.
And Mario, would you talk a little bit about the expo that you had there recently with Linda?
Yeah, we had our first expo, like the one that we had here in Santa Barbara. It was at the Cliffs in Pismo. It was in April? Was it in April? Okay. And we had quite a few people. Todd Piggott from, what's the name of
Zing
this?
Financial.
Sync Financial in Fresno. They came down as well as a few others, and it was it turned out really great. A lot better than what I had expected. But yeah, I mean, that's just what we've got going on, and with the help of Linda and then Dan, who also participated, it just made the whole thing a success. And so yeah, it was great.
More of
Thanks.
those.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mario. I'll tell you, it was so nice going to that because I don't usually go out too much. It's kind of like I'm from the LA area, you know, and I try not to go down there. That's why we're doing these things here. And it's like Linda goes, "Are you ever going to leave your house, Dad?" So I went up to that meeting, and Mario had some great speakers. Linda had some great speakers, and I met a private lender there, and we had major, you know, and we're going to talk about that too, credit issues. I needed money. This private lender that we met there, you know, we got to talking, and eventually said, "Oh yeah, well, you know, what do you need?" And I said, "Well, I would like about $150,000. He goes, "Well, the minimum I loan is $100,000, and I go to $1 million. Is that all you need?" And I said, "Well, I would really like $1 million, but I'm not going there." So it worked out great, and that's why it's so important to not only come to these meetings, but certainly be here when we have a large expo, and to follow the different events that Linda's doing, and get to San Jose, get down to Los Angeles, because that's where you're really going to meet a lot of good people. Okay? Networking. That's why you guys are here, to network and also to ask your questions. So if you got some good questions or bad questions, they're all good questions. Ask them, network. That's the key being here. We can all watch videos at home, but we can't do this here at home. Okay? That's why this is so important. So we have Keith Foley and Roberta Eastman from REI Wealth Academy. Thank you very much. You let me know when you want the video and we'll roll that.
We're good now, actually. I'm Roberta Eastman, America's leading business management medic for real estate investors, and co-founder of REI Wealth Academy. And I am also a 3-time best-selling author. And my business partner, Keith, is about to become a best-selling author in October as well. We run the local Lompoc REI. So we've got Pismo, or St. Louis, and Santa Barbara, and Lompoc here. So today we have 2 legs of our business, and one of them is investors, and so we do deals, and then the other side is the coaching. So I'll show you both. I'm good, I think, Dan, right?
Okay, can you use some help there?
Just to open it up.
You just double click on it, that should do it. Right, there you go.
And so instead of you having to listen to me
And we'll see,
babble here, we'll just show a little video, and
you got some audio in there too, right?
yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can make this a little bit larger. Can't see it, can't see.
Oh, bring it up, Dan. How's that?
It's good music though.
Thank you. All right, well, I'll go back to them. Well, anyway, we can move on. I just wanted them to see the picture of the anatomy of a real estate investing.
Ah,
So let me get out of
like
the way.
that? Well, real quick, you gotta be watching.
So
real
anyway,
quick.
this is the deal, some of the deals that we worked on. This is something we would have called a grand slam. It is a local traditional house. And this deal is done, signed, sealed, and delivered. And the point, keep going. There we go.
We're the real estate investment. So this is
our
our
investor,
third time,
who also happens
this
to be a
like,
student.
last 30 days, helping somebody make their first investment. And so, Mason Phyllis, this is your first investment, and you're making your money back, and you're making your interest on your first real estate investment deal.
2 months.
In 2 months.
That's sweet.
So, and like I was sharing with all of you guys earlier, for us this is really, really about who we put in the houses and how we help the families. So we're helping you and we're helping them. And this family is 30 years old, a young kid, and he's done so good. He had worked for a wine company, and he had just gotten laid off after 17 years. Then he came over to the Central Coast and got a job. They gave him 4 years worth of severance, and that's how we had the $80,000 down for the bank. So, they're going to be settled, and like they said, they've been looking for a house since December, and just couldn't find one, or every time they put an offer in, they would get outbid. So that's why it was so strange to him when we were like, you're approved already from us, you don't have to wait, so that's why it was important to them. But they have 4 little ones, 3 girls, and I don't think any one of them is older than 9.
We did a
And
for
then the
sale by
brand new
owner on
baby
this
boy.
property.
And they're gonna have a house that you helped put together. Everything in that house, including, we did a tankless water heater, we furnished it with stainless steel appliances in the kitchen, brand new everything but the roof and the foundation. And you were a part of that. So, thank you guys very much.
Well, thank you. This was a no-brainer for me because this was money sitting in the bank making virtually nothing. And after seeing what you've been doing to be able to be part of something that was helping someone else and get a serious return on that money, and what shocks me is the short period of time in the job is pretty amazing to me. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
So this is why we call it a grand slam. There's a check for both myself and for Keith each of $51,000.
Ooh, that's good.
So that's what we do. We have we call that a grand slam because of the amount of money and how everybody was helped. We have another grand slam in Lompoc that is going to be a $50,000 return for the investor, and at a 19.61. So that one's Monday or Tuesday, so you can come talk to us about that if you're interested. So that's one side of our business, and then.
Just curious, how much was the price of the property?
Oh,
Originally.
great. Well, let me share that with you. It's one of my favorite stories.
Good.
We bought it for $60,000.
Wow.
2 blocks from the golf course.
Yeah.
That's good.
And we were in total, absolutely total, for $166,000. And that literally everything was brand new other than the foundation and the roof in that house. I took a 1953 house and made it 2014. But bought it for 60, in total for 166. And these are the numbers as real estate investors that you're going to want to be thinking about. What do I have to buy it for? What do I have to be into it total for? That means including paying investors back, everything. And we sold it for $275.
Wow.
So,
Very good.
and most important, we have a young family who's 30. 4 little ones. Yes.
And the whole process took 2 months?
We started January 9th, and we closed April 26th.
Wow.
That includes the rehab and all.
Includes it all.
We need a rehab.
Included everything. And we didn't do two things. We did none of the rehab ourselves. And we used none of our own money.
Yes. That's good, yes.
So that's one side of our business.
Sorry, Roberta, what was the
Yeah.
gentleman on the screen?
He was the investor. It
What
was
would
his money.
investment have been?
He happened to only have put in a small amount, but we got $100,000 from somebody, and then he finished it up.
And then you would make something.
Yeah, we guarantee, we do, for our investors, we do a flat rate interest guaranteed within 6 months.
Good.
You're welcome.
Can you disclose what the interest rate is?
Depending on what the deal is. Now, so let me give you an example of this one for Monday and Tuesday. This is a grand slam double. Because it doesn't need a lot of rehab, 18,000 in rehab. But this particular one, I think that if we did a lease auction, the plan is to do a lease auction. There's a 19.61% return on this house, 50 grand.
That's good. That's really
And
good.
how much do you need total for that?
255, including rehab,
Okay.
and we're good to go. And then, not only that, the 19.61 and the 50,000, they will get $500 cash flow a month.
Very nice.
So,
That's
Do you
good.
use
I think-
a construction crew for the rehab, or do you?
I do, yeah, we do. We don't do any of our own rehab.
So they come in and within weeks?
Yeah, we have, an agreed upon deadline. You always want to make sure you do, and then make sure that there's a $100 charge if they're not done
Right.
per day. Yeah. And they brought that to us. We didn't even have to say that. Our construction crew on the coast here, no, he brought it to us. He said, if I don't get it done in your 8 weeks, then it'll be $100 a day. Like, okay.
So you,
Yeah.
you hire a general then, or do you sub it out somehow? Or you just hire a general like that?
I do hire a general and let them do it. Yeah.
So do you typically use like a hard money lender?
I never use hard money. Never use hard money. Private money. They're regular Joes, and we'll talk about that. At our meeting on Thursday night, we're actually doing a full presentation. Keith and I both had the opportunity to just speak on Dean Graciosi's stage. If anybody knows who Dean Graciosi is, he's one of the big gurus in real estate investing. We had an opportunity to speak in front of 275 people in the audience and 2275 live streaming. And one of our presentations was other people's money, how to do this with other people's money. And at our local meeting on Thursday, then we're doing that presentation. So everybody obviously is invited. Yes.
Back to that construction, do you have your own contract with these people, contractors, or do you rely on theirs, contractors?
They have their contractors in place, and I know all of their contractors.
The agreement you have with your contractor, like the timing and everything, do
Mhm.
you use your own contract?
Oh yeah, no, I always control the contract.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's me buying a property, or me having a construction crew, or me even doing private money, I always control the contract. Yeah, you're welcome. Great? Good. All right. So, the next piece of our business is the other side, and that's for us, giving back and teaching people, and let me stop that for just a second.
Roberta, you got a question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was wondering, how do you find the private money lenders?
They're regular Joes.
Everywhere.
And that's what we're going to teach on Thursday night. Literally, they are just people who want to make more money on their money. They have money and no time, or they don't know how to structure the deal. We find very deep discounted properties. Every property we have, and have always had, is off market. We don't buy anything on market. Everything we get is deep discounted off market. This one on Monday, ARV will be $300,000, and I'm picking it up for $235.
So how do you get your leads then? I mean, is it just, off the cuff with agents?
Everything we do is word of mouth. Everything comes to us word of mouth now. It is. We have 2 ways of advertising. Our cars, which you might have seen, they are outside, and it's wrapped with the lettering. And then we wear shirts. That's it. Everything else is word of mouth deals. So, cool? Yes.
Do you offer those same type of deals to on the coaching side, to the
Yes.
students that you,
Yes.
so they don't find their own deals and come to you and you coach them through it?
They-
You actually,
Watch this gentleman. This gentleman was with us for 4 days, and you all know him, because he comes here too. He lives here. This is Matt, who is our student, and as he'll tell you, he was with us 4 days and got his first check of $2,500. So,
And a pretty girl.
yeah, and his wife, that's right. Our students can partner with us, they can bring deals to us, they can wholesale to us. The only thing we will not do is we will not sell you a property. We just don't believe it's a good practice, because we're in a stronger position than you are, because we know more, as of now. The whole idea is that we're gonna pull you, and you're gonna be running circles around us. But at the beginning, we do know more. So we will not sell you a property as a student. It's just how we do
Do
business.
you sell your properties off market as well, or do you?
Yes.
Yep.
So, not this one, another one I had in Lompoc. I got it for 77% less than loan value. I sold it to a first-time home buyer, 30 years old, for 23% less than market value. So he stepped into his first brand new, home of his. Good bone, solid, not much rehab, and he already had $36,000 in equity. So,
That was this year?
yes, that was this year. That was 2 months ago. We do not do business unless it's a win-win for everybody. We don't care how much money we're going to make. If it isn't a win-win for everybody, it's just not a deal.
And if you're the one selling it, are you on the lease then, or are the investors on the lease? And who carries that?
When you
Or
say
the-
lease and
sorry,
buying, they're two different things.
Yeah, sorry, whoever purchases it, it's the investor?
Actually, all of our investors are in first position,
Okay.
always, secured by the property, in first position. Yep. Great. And you, please, any question, come get me. Come get Keith. So this is Matt. Oh, I don't know how to make it bigger.
All right.
So,
Now it's closed, and we got our check, our first wholesale check ever. I've done that before.
Oh, excellent. Now can I stop and go back, Dan? Okay, so this is Matt. Oh.
And I think it was, using their techniques, within like 3 or 4 days, we had this deal in the hopper, and now it's closed, and we got our check, our first wholesale check ever. Hadn't done that before. We got involved with REI Wealth Academy. Thanks, Keith and Roberta.
So I'm with Paula, one of our students, and Paula's been with us how long?
3 months.
And in the 3 months, the techniques that we've taught you, how have they worked for you?
They're working really well.
Good.
I've had response from yellow letters being sent out, and very importantly, creating relationships, which I've been doing, which is helping me to build my team, which is going to allow me to make deals.
Great. And today we took you to an auction, which is a new experience. What did you think of that?
First experience was a really good experience. I was out of my comfort zone, which is always good for me. I now know what happens at an auction. I saw the different variety of people and reasons why people are there at the auction, and introduced myself and started a few relationships that way. I was able to be the student and listen to Keith and Roberta and how they communicate with people and how they set up relationships with people, which is always a really good learning experience for me. And you always come out with questions, and after something like that, I always do, and things that I've learned. And that all happened today. It was a great experience.
Perfect. The main reason we took her to the auction is to find buyers, because all these people are certified. If they've gotten a number, they have funds. It's the easiest way to put a buyer's list together, guys. So it's just one of the techniques, because we don't buy anything at the auctions. There's just too much competition. We try to find everything off the market, and that's what we teach. Okay, we'll see you guys next time.
Now this is Keith, this is the operator, so just turn your head up for a minute. Yeah. And so that's the better one.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So here's your first monies from real estate investing. I got to be the money fairy like 3 times in 30 days. It was awesome. And her 2 grandchildren. And it was 15.
Thank you.
And then yeah, okay, mom, who is 48. So let's, because we want to move forward, I'm going to move this forward. This is Paula getting money back. And this was her first real estate investing deal as well, and she's a student. As you saw, it's the same girl who was at the auction. So I'll go ahead and move us forward here so you don't have to listen to the story as long as it is in this video. But the people that her and Matt helped, Matt brought the deal and got paid, and Paula invested in the deal and got paid, and everybody made money. And this is the house. Paula's house was an 80-year-old grandmother, and she had 2 grandsons, 16 and 17. They had just lost their mom unexpectedly at the age of 48, and they could no longer afford to live in the house that they were living in. And so we were able to put them into one of our manufactured homes that Paula had done the investment in, and get that family back on their feet, get them grounded. And now Grandma, who's 80, can manage the process. She can manage the house. She can manage the payments. Fortunately or unfortunately, they had life insurance to pay for the house. And so again, it was a win-win for everybody. So, okay. And then this is Thursday night. If you guys want to come to the Lompoc Embassy Suite, 6:30, and on 8th Street, then we'll be teaching how to do other people's money.
Excellent.
Yes.
Will you have that on YouTube?
This?
Your next meeting?
My next meeting is actually on Meetup. It's also, you can always find it on our website, which is reiwealthacademy.com. We, every month, we advertise what we're going to be, or where it is. But it's always easy to remember. It's always the 3rd Thursday of every month. Okay? Thank you guys very much for your time.
A lot of good training, a lot of good information. Thank you, Grace. Appreciate that. And we've got an opportunity here for people that are members to speak up a little bit, so that they can kind of bring in their information, their deal to the meeting here. And I have Gary Reese that's going to talk to us a little bit about what he's doing. So you want to come on up, Gary? Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. This is my son, Michael. He's really the brains of the operation, and so he's going to give the details. I just wanted to let you know that we are absolute newbies. We haven't done our first deal yet. We're just in the process of arranging for it, and that's what we're going to tell you about. But we made a decision that instead of doing single family or small multifamily, we would head for sort of an intermediate space. We found that the big investors typically are interested in properties that are above 100 doors, and more of the new people look for something that is sort of 5 doors or less. And so we decided that we'd go for that range, sort of 30 to 80 doors on a multifamily property. And Santa Barbara is expensive. California is relatively expensive, though Taft is so expensive. And
Doesn't count.
it doesn't, right? But we chose Ohio.
Oh.
And so the deal that Michael's going to tell you about is in Dayton, Ohio.
So the first one, and we're really quite close, it turns out, as of today. We've got 55 doors. It's a 70-year-old property, so it's got some life. But it's been nicely refurbed. We're looking at, they're asking $750 on it, so it's not a really expensive property, which is nice. Under $14,000 a unit for the 55 units. As of this morning, it looks like we're going to do a trust deed on the property with an investor. Just over $200,000. We landed that this morning. So we can go to the banks and start moving forward. So, with any luck, we'll land another investor in it as well and do less with the banks. That's my preference. I think we'll get the private money instead of going to the banks. But if we have to go to the banks, okay.
Is it occupied?
Most of it is occupied, yeah. It's got good history.
So what kind of gross rent?
Ooh, I can actually answer that directly. I can change my eyes. Yeah, no, I actually have that number in front of me.
The gross rent multiplier, 2.79.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That'll be okay, huh? Yeah. So that's our first deal. With any luck, we'll be moving on that this week.
Do the banks ask for like 25% down? Is that
I'm hoping to get 35% down so that we own more of it. Yeah. And it'd just be easier to talk to the banks. I'd like to keep it in the local area, deal with some of the smaller banks or credit unions. And as a new investor, they're a little more hesitant to loan, so the more we can bring, the better they'll do on their terms and on their saying yes.
So you're using private money?
Yeah.
Is it all private?
All private so far, yeah. And then we'll go to the bank for whatever mortgage we have. But I've talked to some banks, credit unions, and kind of institutional investors like B2R.
What's your plan for the property?
5 years, buy and hold, then figure it out from there. This is the first property. I'm hoping to get 200 doors in about 18 months. I want to make this real. This is not just for fun.
Have you ever been to Dayton, Ohio before? Do you know anybody there?
I'm hoping to never even set foot. Yeah. Warren Buffett bought his first property was a farm that he bought in 1964, and he still owns it, and he's never set foot on it. I think that's a great goal.
When you talk to your bank, see if they do a no seasoning refinance, it saves you a lot of time waiting.
Yeah, that would be a great. I'm hoping to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's our little deal.
Good.
Excellent.
Did you have a question?
Do you own this, did you buy it yourself or with an LLC or?
It'll be in our LLC. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because we're doing so many. The goal is so many properties.
is it, do you have one LLC per property or are you?
We've got an LLC that we operate, and then we'll do a holding LLC for that property.
Okay.
So it'll just be just a holding. It won't be an operating company.
It already has property management in place?
It does. Yeah, it's got an on-site property manager. He's been there for 2.5 years. There's also an on-site security manager. And we're going to hire a property management company as well. I need to have, because we're not there, I need to have professionals involved to make sure it's all safe.
It's worth it though.
You know, it's 5 to 8% to have somebody else take all those headaches and ensure that the jobs are done correctly.
Somebody else local.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm hoping to get 4 or 5 properties in Dayton. I found it in only a few days, but I spent all the due diligence so far, getting the area, talking to all people that are going to be involved, the accountants, bookkeepers, the property management companies. I've talked to the police department, insurance companies. I did all my research.
And with word of mouth or?
It was one of the big property websites. I forget which one. I look at so many of them that I forget which one was the source. But yeah, like LoopNet or Julia.
And it sounds like what you're talking about due diligence, that dovetails into my question, your on-site due diligence. You never set foot in Dayton, who's your man on that? How are you handling that?
So far,
To make sure that the place is not a fire trap or a rat trap, you know?
So far, prior to even having the money, I have had the broker, the contractor, the insurance company, an attorney, and the community service police officer on site.
You made a comment? I didn't hear that.
I told him he was working with a bank that asked him if they do no seasoning refinance. So the second he purchased it, he can turn around and pull all the money back out. So there's no 90-day window, 60-day window, 30-day window.
What's that, a note what?
No seasoning refinance.
Note seasoning?
No
seasoning.
No seasoning.
Yeah, so that the seasoning, it has to, you have to own it for a while, get the rent stabilized, make sure that it's actually legit, and then move forward. And just so you guys know, for the note that we've got today, looking at just over 200,000 on a 3-year note for 7 1/4. It's just quarterly payments, so the investor's happy, and it's safe. I'm going to secure it with a second on the property.
Good. Very good.
I'm still learning about LLC, so I just wondered what state your LLC is.
California. We're domiciled here. For me, having it here, and then we'll have the LLC for that property in Ohio.
Okay, so that costs you $800 a year.
Here, it's 2 1/4. It's 225 or something in Ohio. It's a very small sum. And we have an attorney there who handles, in Ohio, all the properties are handled by an attorney. He's our agent of record for an LLC.
Oh, I see.
So it's a major part of the team.
Okay.
How much would you say you've spent so far in just doing all your due diligence and preparation for the deal? Yeah.
Not enough.
So for your attorneys and inspections and things?
Right. Yeah. The seller of the property had a commercial appraisal done in August last year. So I've got that appraiser's report. He paid to have that done for the property. I've talked with Wells Fargo about getting the overall mortgage, and they will pay for a current commercial appraisal on the property. We don't have to deal with that. I'm sure it's included in the closing costs, but there's no upfront on our cost on that. No expense so far in due diligence. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.